Never has somebody of this magnitude ever called early and had me run late from the previous segment. I got to get to this right away. We are joined right now by an entrepreneur, an investor, an author, a regular on Shark Tank, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is at Milwaukee tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mark Cuban is my guest. Mark, I'm really sorry about that wait. It's been a minute or two since we last spoke. How are you doing, Mark? How is your life right now?
Romy, I'm talking to you. My life cannot be better.
My man, I so appreciate you saying that. So good to have you on, Mark. Thank you so much. Listen, this week the team had to say farewell to J.J. Barea. Let me start right there. I bring it up because he's a very special person, and to point that out, you actually signed him to a contract last month as a reward, knowing that you were probably going to release him. What has he meant to you personally and to your organization?
I mean, JJ's a legend. I mean, the backstory on JJ is we needed a point guard for a summer league team back in 2005, I think it was, and I just happened to be looking at stats, and there was this guy that kept on popping up from Northeastern that was scoring 20 and dishing out 9 assists. I'd never even seen him play, and I said to Donnie Nelson, I'm like, let's just bring him in for summer league and see if he can play. The rest is history. He came in sight unseen and just dominated. And he's been great for the Mavs, great for the Dallas, great for Puerto Rico ever since.
We're talking to Mark Cuban. Great story. Now, Mark, I hate to start this conversation off by kind of embarrassing you by singing your praises, but as some people know, you also reached out to somebody else that I go back a ways with, and the show does too, Delonte West. Back in September, photos emerged of Delonte that were very, very sad and very depressing. What did you think when you first saw those photos?
Heartbroken. I mean, Delonte's got a great heart, and, you know, he's got his challenges. You know, mental illness is no joke, and it's going to be something he has to deal with his entire life. But, you know, I was just heartbroken like everybody else.
So the story goes out that you reached out to his mother to ask how you might help, and right. She told you to find Delonte. You did that. You reunited him with his mother and then helped him into rehab. Why was that something that you wanted to take on personally?
I mean, you know, it sounds bigger than it really is. I mean, he was 2.5 miles away from where I live. And so for me just to go up there and help somebody that, you know, I considered a friend who was in need, it wasn't that big a deal. I mean, it's just something that was the right thing to do. And, you know, but, you know, like anybody who's had to deal with people with mental illness and problems with drugs and other substances, you know, that's just the start. It's going to be a long road for D. West, and you know, he's got to want to do it, and so hopefully as he comes out of rehab, he'll be able to make it all work.
Mark Cuban joining us. I would just say that you've tweeted photos of him kayaking and doing some other activities as part of his recovery. Every time I see one of those photos, it does make me smile. I understand that it is a process. It's going to be a long process. But those pictures do make me smile, so I'm really glad for that.
Yeah, he was living a better life than you or I, Jim.
Yeah, right? And he should. But you're right, though, Mark. He has a great heart, like a good person, a great heart. So I'm glad that he gets the opportunity. Now, as I mentioned off the top, your first preseason game, wow, I mean, that's something. Your first preseason game is tomorrow night. What's it like, Mark, to have such a quick turnaround from the end of last season to the start of this season?
I think the guys are ready. I mean, I was at practice today, and everybody was excited to play. I mean, initially it was a little bit like, okay, you know, are we ready for this? You know, how are we going to deal with COVID? What's it going to be like not being in the bubble? But now guys have adjusted. You know, the daily testing is going to turn into 2-a-day testing now. And so guys recognize that, you know, you've got to take care of business in terms of protecting yourself from COVID and take care of business on the court. And they're ready. I mean, you know, you don't make that type of commitment personally unless you really want to play. And so they're excited. Guys are fired up, and, you know, we should be better than last year.
Mark Cuban joining us. One quick thing, Mark. I want to ask you about Luka, because those who know have long known about Luka. You've been around great athletes, great business people. You've seen greatness in all different walks of life, so you know it when you see it. What is it about Luka that makes him so special?
His desire to be great, his willingness to put in the effort. There's a lot of people that have come into the NBA with great talent, great athleticism, and that's what they have. They don't necessarily work at it. They don't necessarily understand the game. Luka is all those things. He's got size. He's got athleticism. He's got, you know, the basketball junk to him. He's got a basketball IQ. But most important, he's got this willingness to work hard. And just as important is he recognizes that fans and the community he's in are an important part of his job, if you will, or just his, who he is. It's important to him to connect to kids, to connect to the community. And those are the things you see with greatness, whether it's in basketball or in any business. People who want to be the best but recognize the people around them are just as important.
Got about 60 seconds, Mark. In business, like when you're looking to hire, how important is future success for anybody in any industry about talent and IQ versus grind and grit?
I'll take grind every time. There's two things that I look for. One, are you a grinder? Are you willing to work hard? And two, are you a learner? Do you recognize that things are always changing and you have to always keep on learning? Give me somebody from a small state school that has an accounting degree, that is always learning and updating their information and updating their knowledge. I'll take that every day over the Harvard grad.
Mark Cuban, my guest. Mark, what's it been like being a regular on Shark Tank?
You mean Shark Tank every Friday night on ABC at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central? It's amazing.
I figured as much. He is an entrepreneur. He is an investor. He is an author. He is a regular on Shark Tank. He is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Mark, so good to have you back in the jungle. You've always been good to the program, and it's great to talk to you, Mark. Thank you so much.
You're the best, Romy. I wouldn't be here without you on the Extra 690 coming on AudioNet. People don't realize you were one of the first shows on radio that gave us the permission to stream, and you helped build the streaming industry, and you helped build my career, so I'm always thankful.
Oh, man, did I just hear that correctly?
Yes,
Mark
you did.
Cuban. Appreciate you, Mark, so much.
Always, Jimmy. Take care,
buddy.
Thank
you. Be good. I had no idea. Well, I mean, I had a little bit of an idea. Mark Cuban. That was an awfully nice thing to say, Cubes. Thank you very much. And I do appreciate you.